Hi, this is Suchi, and in today's video, I'll be talking about 4 general ndarray creation methods: zeros, ones, random, and indices. And let me take you through the zeros method first. So with the help of these methods, we can create n-dimensional array with any shape we want and putting some default value into the array. So here, let us talk about the zeros method. np.zeros. np is nothing but NumPy. We have imported in NumPy as np. So let me just show you. At the beginning, we have imported NumPy. Here, import NumPy package as np. So we are calling np. np is an alias for NumPy package only. So here we are calling np.zeros. And what we can pass here as a parameter is the shape of the array. So here, if we wish to have a 2-dimensional array with 3 rows and 4 columns, we can pass this shape 3, 4. And what we will get if we use this, we will get an array where all the elements will be set to 0. So let me just run this and show you what it is returning. Here you can see all the elements are zeros and the shape of the array is 3 by 4. So 3 rows we are having and 4 columns you can see here. If we wish to have a 3-dimensional array, then we can change the shape, and here we will be having 2 2-dimensional arrays with the shape 3 by 4. So the shape of the final array will be 2, 3, 4. Let me just run this. Here you can see we have 2 arrays with the shape of 3 by 4. And each of them are having 3 rows and 4 columns. So this is how we can create a generic array with all the elements set to 0. And here also, if we pass the D type and if we specify that to something else, it will be set to that data type, whatever we are passing over here. So by default, it was in float, but if we set it to int, it will be in integer format. So this is how we can create an array of zeros. Now let us talk about ones. So guess you got it right. Instead of zeros, if we want to set the values to 1, then we can use ones. So here, the same thing, we can pass the shape of the final array or shape of the resultant array, we can pass here. So here, if we run this, you can see we have an array of ones only. And here the shape is 3 by 4. That's what we are getting here, 3 rows and 4 columns. So this is how we can create array with value ones. Now here also we can pass the D type and we can set the D type to something else apart from the default one, which is float. So here I can set it to integer with the help of D type equal to int, this parameter. So here you can see this has been set to integer now. And if I do not mention it, it will take float value by default. Now let's talk about a random array. So here we are setting the values of the array to 0. Here we are setting the values of the array to 1. But what if we want to create an array with a particular shape and with random values? So in that case, we have to use this method, default RNG. Then we have to call the random method of default RNG. So default RNG, what it will return, let me just remove this part and run this. So it is returning a generator object. And if we call the random method of this generator on this generator, we can get an array, nd array, which will be having the shape we are specifying with the help of this parameter. So here we want to get a 3 by 4 array with random values. And let me tell you one thing. here this default RNG, this will be setting the, this will be creating a generator which will have random values between 0 and 1. So it will be a fractional value, and it will be in between 0 and 1. And if we specify the shape of the array here, we can see a random array with this shape. So let me just run this, and here you can see we are getting 3 rows, 4 columns. We can change it to something else, and we will see. See here, 2 rows, 4 columns, 2 by 3. We can see that 3 by 3. So we can change the shape as per our requirement, and we can see the array is getting changed according to our specification. So here you can see I have set it to a 3-dimensional array. The first dimension is having 2 elements, these two, this one and this one. The second dimension is having 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. And the third dimension is having 3 elements, 1, 2, and 3. So this is how this is creating a random array. But now, if we run this again for the second time, here you can see the values are getting changed. So as you can see, this value is now 0.1126. If we run it again, here you can see this value has got changed to 0.7119. And this is true for all the elements. The value is getting changed every time. So we cannot predict what is going to be the value of this elements in this array. So every time we run this code, it will be generating a new array, new random array. So if we wish to have a specific random array, we do not want it to get changed every time we run the code. What we can do, we can pass a parameter to this default RNG function. And that default parameter will be the seed value. So if we pass the seed value, any integer value if we pass here, let's say 1, and if we run it multiple times, it will be generating the same array every time. If we do not change the seed value, the values of the output array won't be changing. But now if we change the seed value to something else, again it will be generating some new array, and this will be remaining same every time we run it. So the seed value will assure that every time we run this code, it will not generate a new array. It will be generating the same random array. So this is how we can create an array with random numbers in the NumPy. Now, the last thing what I am going to talk about is indices. Indices array is nothing but it will return the indices of a particular shape. So here, as you can see here, this is a 3 by 4. So this is a 2-dimensional. So this is the shape which is expecting to have a 2-dimensional array. But for this 2-dimensional array, the indices will be returning a 3-dimensional array. So if I run this, let me just show you what exactly happening. Here you can see a 3-dimensional array is returned, where the first dimension is having 1 and 2 elements, and the second dimension is having 3 elements, and the third dimension is having 4 elements. So here we can see 3 by 4 matrix, and here also we can see 3 by 4 matrix, which is the shape we have provided. But again, it is having 2 elements for in the third dimension. And what are the values here? So if you can see, if you look at this, it is actually representing the index value of the element. So here, if I create an array with zeros, just let me show you for your understanding. Let me set the data to integer. And here I will set ones. So here you can see, or maybe I'll just create a random array with dtype integer. Okay, random array cannot have data type integer because that is generating values between 0 to 1. So here you can see np.indices is representing 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. These are nothing but the row number. So for example, here you can see the row number for this value is 0. Row number is 0 for all of these elements. Row number is 1 for all of these elements. And row number is 2 for all of these elements. Again, column number is 0 for all these three elements. 0, 0 and 0. 1, 1 and 1. Column number is 1 for all these three elements. Then column number is 2 for all these three elements and column number is 3 for all these three elements. So basically, this indices array is nothing but representing the index values in all these dimensions. If we just increase this dimension, let me just show you what exactly it is showing. So here, if you just combine these two indices, then you will get the exact index number. So 0, 0 is the index number of this particular value. So here, let me just have ones. And let me put the d type to 1 integer. So here, this value is having an index number 0, 0. This value is having an index number 0, 1. This value is having an index number 0, 2. Similarly, this value will be having an index number 0, 3, which is represented here. So that is the output of indices array. So let me just show you for a 3-dimensional shape. It will be returning a 4-dimensional array. So let me run this. Here you can see this is returning a 4-dimensional array where the first dimension is having 1, 2 and 3 elements. Okay. And each of them are again having 1 and 2 elements. And each of them are again having 1, 2, 3 elements, and each of them are having 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. So this is how it is adding one extra dimension to the output, and it is representing all the indices for each of the elements. Now, if we create an array with the same thing with zeros, and if we change the data type to 1 integer, here you can see this is the thing. So what will be the index value of this particular element? This will be 0, 0, 0, and that's what we will get from this 3 elements 0, 0 and 0. Okay. For this one, what will be the value of this index? 0, 0, 1. So that's what we will get from here 0, 0, 1. Similarly, this will be 0, 0, 2. So that will be that's what we will get from here 0, 0, 2 and so on. So this is how this indices will return the index number, the index representation of the actual array, which can be generated using this shape. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any queries, any doubt, you can write it in the comment section below. And we will discuss more on NumPy in our upcoming videos. So till then, keep learning, keep implementing. Thank you for watching.